Police discoveries that will give you nightmares. Being a man or woman of uniform is more like a calling. Not everyone has what it takes to be a police officer. It's a career laced with risks and unpredictability that requires not just courage, but some good muscles. Today in this video, we will show you police discoveries that will give you nightmares and leave your entire body covered in goosebumps. We have kept the best for last. Watch till the end to find and see for yourself. But before we begin, kindly subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Please give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. Let's get it on! Number 1. The House Full of Leaves. This is the stuff psychiatrists live for. A convicted killer with a bizarre obsession for trees, or better still, leaves. When two police officers from Mount Vernon, Ohio entered the house of 30-year-old man Hoffman on February 10, 2011, they stepped into a disturbing scene that raised more questions than answers. The two men in blue, who were investigating the whereabouts of a missing trio, discovered mounds of leaves so high they feared that bodies could be buried under them. And they were right. Hoffman's living room was stuffed with leaves, the bathroom lined with more than 100 bags of leaves, and his freezer contained only a couple of red popsicles and 2 dead squirrels. Hoffman had killed 2 women and an 11-year-old boy before kidnapping and raping a 13-year-old girl after a botched burglary attempt. Police found the girl in the basement of the home, bound hand and foot, and confined to a makeshift bed of leaves. He claimed that the little girl liked the bed and it was comfy, so he wanted to sleep in it. Hoffman showed signs of being mentally ill with his obsession with leaves. His neighbors stated that he would also kill squirrels and eat them. The unemployed tree trimmer and killer is serving a life sentence for the 3 murders in addition to the kidnapping and rape of the teen girl. Number 2. One of history's worst mother. A call made to the Somervell County Sheriff's Office in Glen Rose, Texas on March 21, 2016 was life-saving for a 2-year-old girl. Tasha Hatcher and her neighbors lived in a relatively serene area. However, one day when some of Tasha's friends noticed her acting a bit odd and blasting music, they knew something was cooking and thought it wise to get the police to investigate her house. The police found something unbelievably horrifying inside her oven, which had been turned on. Tasha's 2-year-old girl, Nevaeh. What's more shocking, Tasha admitted to willfully committing the utterly cruel act, and as a result of her actions, her daughter suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns to 14% of her body. It was unbelievable, even to Tasha's close friends. Tasha had admitted to using methamphetamine before the horrific incident. Thankfully, Nevaeh was escaped death by a whisker thanks to the caring neighbors. Number 3. Unmasked Sacks. In December of 2015, Russian officers were investigating a small lumber company when they stumbled upon 37 unmarked sacks stuffed with sawdust sitting on the railway cars. At first glance, the mysterious bags just seemed to contain wood shavings, typical of any lumber company, but they had no idea about the sickening surprise that awaited them. When the police opened the bags, hidden inside were hundreds of several bear parts that smugglers intended to sell on the black market. At the end of it all, the police confiscated 527 bare feet, a bare muzzle, bare gallbladders, and 3 musk deer glands. The body parts were destined for Asia, where they would be used for medicine. Supposedly, bears' gallbladders are proven to have medicinal properties, as it creates an acid helpful to the human immune system. It's said that wildlife trafficking is the 4th largest illegal market in the world, worth around $205 billion. Number 4. Halloween Real Dead Prop. Now this is an actual when you realize the fake body during Halloween is not a real person playing dead, but a real person that is dead moment. On a day in October 2009, Mustafa Mahmoud Zaid's neighbors thought they had decided to take Halloween decorations to a dead level for the year, going so far as to put a slumped-over, ominous-looking dummy on his porch to frighten his neighbors. For days, neighbors and guests marveled at the prop's authenticity, though no one actually checked out the spooky Halloween prop or on Mr. Zaid, perhaps to inquire where he had bought it. After a few days, someone in the 75-year-old's Marina del Rey, California complex trusted his sixth sense and called the police, who discovered it was not a fake body, but Zaid's corpse on the porch, gradually decomposing for almost 4 days after a single gunshot wound to the eye ended the man's life. That the body had been looking over the complex for days without anyone noticing was unfortunate. His death was an apparent suicide, and a note was found at the scene. Zaid had lived in the apartment complex for 34 years. His friends were in disbelief and described him as well-liked and a highly educated man who was an accomplished structural engineer. Number 5. The terrifying tale of Fritzl. Not all monsters live in the woods or lurk in the dark. Some live right among us, and one of them goes by the name Joseph Fritzl. When she turned 18, and after sexually abusing her since age 11, Fritzl lured his daughter down to the basement, knocked her out with ether, and locked her into a chamber that he built himself. He forced Elizabeth to pen a letter saying that she went to live with a friend and convinced the wife and the police that she possibly joined a cult. Fritzl would then visit the chamber and repeatedly raped her and subjected her to abuse. Elizabeth would give birth to 7 children from her father, from which one would die shortly after birth. 3 were registered as foundlings and raised by Fritzl and his wife. That he apparently gave feasible stories as to how they showed up on their doorstep is unbelievable. The other 3 lived with Elizabeth in the chamber. The oldest child, a 19-year-old girl, fell terribly ill that Fritzl agreed to take her to the hospital on April 19, 2008, and this marked the beginning of the end of Elizabeth and her children's captivity. Police started questioning the teenager and realized she had never been in the outside world before. The medical staff didn't buy Joseph's short stories on the identity of the child, and they contacted authorities with their concerns. When Joseph later released Elizabeth to go to the hospital, she was detained by police on arrival. That's when she told the chilling over 2-decade ordeal. Joseph was arrested and charged with murder, rape, incest, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and slavery. Number 6. 730 days worth of the toilet. This seems like one of those movie scenes, or more like a dream than a reality, but it was as real as it got. In Kansas on February 27, 2008, Ness County Sheriff Brian Whipple arrived at a residence after a man called in regard to his girlfriend's strange behavior. The 35-year-old woman sat on her boyfriend's toilet for 2 years. Yes, you heard that right. 2 years. Authorities don't know if the woman was mentally or physically disabled. It took so much effort for responders to convince him that she needed to be checked. Whipple pried the toilet seat off with a pry bar, and the seat went with her to the hospital where it was removed, and she was set free from her self-imposed plastic prison. According to Whipple, the lady wasn't glued, nor was she tied, but was just physically stuck by her body. Unbelievable, right? She had refused to cooperate with medical providers or law enforcement investigators. The boyfriend claimed that he supplied her with food and water and asked her daily to leave the bathroom, but his pleas fell on her deaf ears. Wonder why it took the boyfriend 730 days to call the police, though. Number 7. The Babies of Woodland Hills. We're getting pretty dark here, and this might not be for the faint-hearted. This one will give you chills and possibly make you sick to your stomach. On February 3, 1982, the Martin's Container Company repossession of a shipping container opened a Pandora's box of sorts. The container initially belonged to one Malvin Weisberg, a lead operator of medical analytical laboratories in Santa Monica at the time. When representatives of the company popped open the container the following day, they found something unspeakable. Within the containers were almost 500 fetuses preserved by formaldehyde. But the saga didn't end there. Weisberg's home was searched by February 24th of the same year, and a total of 2,000 aborted fetuses were found, and almost 300 were in his garage alone. By May, the tally increased to a final count of 16,431, 193 of which were over 20 weeks into gestation. Weisberg claimed that he stored the aborted fetuses because he couldn't afford to cremate or bury them per state law. And you know what? Malvin was not punished in any form whatsoever. In May 1985, the 16,431 aborted fetuses received a memorial service at Live Oak Memorial Park in Monrovia, California. A granite tombstone is all that's left of this ominous discovery. Did you enjoy our video? Which police discovery surprised you the most, and why? Well, if you enjoyed our video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Give us a like, share the video, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell for timely updates of our new uploads. We value your feedback. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments section below.